Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try and just get into it. Let's see how South Africa is doing. We gave them a couple of days, gave them a couple of weeks since the threat of what they're going to do to the foreigners, to the black foreigners. I have to be very specific, to the black African followers, foreigners in the country. Let's see what's happening. First post is here from Check Gary. It says SA Taxis is bullying South Africans. She says I'm telling them, something like that. I'm guessing these two are not the owners of the vehicle, but they're engaging the owner. Saying they're gonna hit someone? I'm shy. They're taking out groceries. Putting them on the floor. They're saying it's their work. I told you. What did they tell him? And he's saying it's his work. Okay, so taxi workers, like bus drivers, essentially, for anyone that doesn't live in Southern Africa. Wheel or something? Someone's taking out the groceries and leaving. Yeah, they're saying it's their work. He's going wrong. Is he trying to get into? He's trying to get into his car. He's trying to get into his car. Now he's saying, "Leave me alone." Well, they told him, okay, so I guess he can't go into his car. They want everything stopped. They want all the traffic to stop. He's walking into the mall or shopping center or something, or into the building, away from his vehicle. That's it. You see him walking. Are they following him? Yeah, damn. He's good cardio. He's walking. Alright, so essentially they just told him to leave his car. Let's see the comment section. Let's see what the comment section is. I'll kill these idiots if there was ever trying to stop. Okay. Neutral anti-crime. Ooh. There's actual South Africans here. This is harassment and bullying. Our government really fucked us up so bad. They must do this to me. I'll make it personal assignment. This guy, brave on his keyboard. Okay, so essentially, they've gotten rid of a lot of the foreigners, and now they're abusing each other. That's what it looks like. Listen, you get what you deserve. Okay. That's how I feel. You know, if you go to the gym 1,000 days in a row, you're gonna get the price for that. If you have ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 1,000 days in a row, you're also going to get what you deserve. All right. It is what it is. Let's move on to the next one. Most South Africans engaging other South Africans. A xenophobic South African was knocked to the ground with a powerful punch by a white South African. Why is this guy saying the blacks are xenophobic and the white South Africans aren't? If anyone doesn't have any context, the white South Africans are not really stressed about kicking out the black foreigners. The black South Africans are very stressed out about that because of work. Problem is, most of the white employers have already, realized that a lot of the black South Africans aren't trying to work. So they prefer the black foreigners, as we've seen in previous videos. Anyways. Let's read here. Entering a white-only area. In the video, a white man can be heard saying, "You are not allowed to be here." Moments later, he knocked the South African to the... God damn. Let's see.
You are not allowed to be here.
You heard that? You're not allowed to be here. The country doesn't belong to the black South Africans, right? They just happen to be there.
You are not allowed to be here. You are not allowed to be here.
I love it, man. I fucking love it. Check the dude in the truck, rocks out. Who are you? Who are you? What are you doing? And check the way he walks out that car. Like, you know when you feel like you own something, when you know that you own something. Like, these guys know they own the country. Brother man over here with his hands in his pocket, scared as shit, but he needs to try to be brave for the people behind him that are filming.
You're interfering with so I think you must go.
He's got a weapon. Damn, alright. An actual weapon, not a stick.
Otherwise I'm gonna arrest you as well.
They're gonna arrest him, but they're not even police, okay?
Because I don't
Listen. The real owners of the country have arrived. God damn. Oof. That was fucked up. I wouldn't be laughing if the added context was not there, but because we know context.
You are not allowed to be here.
And what the fuck is happening here? Why is this guy on the floor? It looks like he's handcuffed. What is happening? Like, I know for a fact these white dudes are not police. They're not SA police. But they're out here handcuffing people, telling them that they're going to arrest them. What?
You are not allowed to be here. You're interfering with so I think you must go. Otherwise I'm gonna arrest you as well. Because I don't
Oh shit. You are not allowed. Imagine a white man telling you in your country, right? Your country, you are not allowed to be here. Listen, black South Africans will suffer in future when the white will chase them out of that country. Who and where will they seek help? I agree with this one. I think that's what's going to happen eventually, whether it's 5 months from now, 5 decades from now. That is the plan. That is what's going to happen. That's why Orania is being built. And again, like I said, you get your just desserts, right? Whatever it is that you do in this world, you get what you put in, right? If you start practicing to type without looking at the keyboard, and you do it every day, in a year you will have your reward. If you smoke weed every day, in a year you will get the reward, whatever that is, right? Um, read read Dostoevsky and all these other philosophers for a year, and you will get the just rewards. And I agree with this one. This is the eventual future, and honestly, I hope I hope that South Africans, no, I hope that the rest of the continent is not, um, I wouldn't say privy, but I hope that the rest of the continent forgets everything that's happening right now, and I hope that when the day comes, the rest of Africa bands together and makes sure that the South Africans do not lose their country, even if, I don't know, 50 years later they want to kick us out again. I hope it's not a situation of like black South Africans being caught between a rock and a hard place. I hope that never happens again. Actually, not again ever, because that never happened. The shameful thing about the whole incident is that women actually carried him off that deadly KO. They are the weakest species of African men. Those xenophobic, emasculated Indomie guys are just on weed. They have no strength at all. That's why they come in group, one on one. Okay, they are so shameless. Everyone in the world sees them with a different view now. I'm all the way from another continent and nobody likes them over here. A bunch of lowlifes. This guy's from another continent. You're telling me there's people outside? Oh, this guy's in the US. God damn. There's Americans shitting on South Africa right now. They don't even have strength to fight, lazy ass people. Now see when they chase these Elon Musk types the fuck off the continent, I don't want to hear shit about anti-white racism. I like it when they see how foolish they are in their own country, but could chase out fellow black Africans. I so much love this. The black South Africans should go back to their homes. They're not allowed to enter the white neighborhoods. Just one warning, he is on the floor going back home. South Africans, I hope you're prepared. Yeah, I can see apartheid 2.0. It seems it's arriving sooner than many expected. This time around, no other black nation should enable or contribute to your pathetic behavior. I feel like that is something that we can say right now when the anger is at its peak. Like, people are pissed, people are angry, right? But I feel like when it does happen, a lot of people are not going to be down with the idea of like, fuck it, let the white South Africans do what they want to do to the black South Africans. I feel like at the end of the day, as soon as apartheid 2.0 properly kicks off in South Africa, like Mozambique is going to forget, Zimbabwe is going to forget, Namibia, etc. And I feel like that's because the programming is still to be like, listen, we hate the colonizer way more than we hate our ungrateful brothers and sisters. I think that's going to be the mentality. The mentality is not going to be, you know what, let it burn. What's this? Nigerian man living in the UK was given 60 days to renew his documents face deportation. He reached out to a friend in Nigeria for financial help, but the friend claimed he had no money because all his funds were tied up in investments. A week later, the man posted on WhatsApp that he wanted to sell his houses and land in Nigeria to raise money. Ironically, the same friend who said he was broke was the first to ask how much he wanted for the properties. Now the man is angry and says he no longer wants to sell his properties to his friend, but he needs the money. That's a funny story. All right. Thank you. Exactly. This one really concerned me for inside. Exactly. Right. And this is a Nigerian. You can tell by this first word here. Like, even a Nigerian, where you've got tons of Nigerians being kicked out of South Africa, even a Nigerian, he is concerned for this individual here. this stand to be condemned, no matter our individual differences. The whole of Africa united and stops apartheid. We will do that again and again and again. This guy is right. He's right. He's right. It is what it is. All right. Let's go to another post. Hold on, let me remove this.
Their marches.
Okay, this guy said you leave Ethiopia. This is a Swazi flag. You leave Ethiopia because of war, come to South Africa as an asylum seeker, then open a business illegally and run it by force, even when told by locals and police officers to shut it down. Does that make sense to you? So, off rip, if this is what actually happens or has happened, then yeah, they need to get out. They need to get kicked out, and that's the end of the story. Because you can't be doing illegal things, right? And then be using force to keep the shop open, defying, technically fuck the locals, right? Because the locals do not or should not enforce the law, because the locals, they don't have the proper training, they don't have, the rights and the powers to do these things. That's when you're living in a shithole, right? When the locals are enforcing the rules and law, that's when you're fucked. But it says you're police officers. So if this is what actually happened, you know what? Get them out. Get them all out.
Marches ended and the coast is now clear. The shop warned to close is back in business.
For now, I don't want to go back to Ethiopia because there's
Ermi Casa. He doesn't want to go back.
Still war in Ethiopia.
Because there's war.
What made you come to South Africa? Why did you choose South Africa?
Because there's peace in South Africa.
We did this the other day. We're going to do it again to belabor the point. Let's find Ethiopia. Let's find Ethiopia. Let's find Ethiopia and have us a little observation, right? Because I feel like we're being a bit unrealistic here. There's peace in South Africa. Alright, hold on. Let's share this. Okay, so this is the map, the African map, right? This is Ethiopia. Right next to it is Somalia, obviously, right? Shithole. Eritrea, I don't know about it today, but I studied a little bit when I was in school. Shithole. Sudan, still a shithole. South Sudan, still a shithole. Right below Ethiopia is Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya is one of the more, maybe not prosperous, but stable countries on the whole continent. Like there was this one bombing, I think in 2014, by the usual suspects. Today is not the day. We will talk about the usual suspects another time. But besides that, Kenya is super stable, right? So they skipped Kenya. He skipped Kenya. The dude that was saying South Africa is safe. He skipped Kenya. He came to Tanzania, another country that is, pretty peaceful from what I know. It's pretty chill in Tanzania. He skipped Malawi, another peaceful country. Zambia, another peaceful country. Mozambique, where I'm at. Okay, listen, as far as Mozambique is concerned, everyone knows what's happening in the north. Yes, there is war in Mozambique, but it's not the whole country. But you know what? Let's discount Mozambique because there's a literal war going on right now. So let's discount Mozambique. Harare, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is safe. Zimbabwe is chill. It's just the economy is shit. But no one's being shot at. There's no war. Because he said safety was his priority. There's no war in Zimbabwe. There's no war in Botswana. There's no war in Namibia. So he skipped, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different countries to get to South Africa. Listen, there's many, he can say whatever he wants about other reasons, but the actual reason why he left Ethiopia, it was not just safety. Let's say that. Let's see what the reporter's gonna say. Oh, that's it. That's the end of the questioning.
Because there's peace in South Africa.
All right.
That peace is now under threat. South of Soweto, foreigners are reckoning with mob violence.
So now I was skating because he wanted to come inside. I said, no, he's going to kill me. Then I came outside through the window. Then when I came outside, now I look like maybe I'm there, Baba now. Just taking the guns, hitting in my head.
The sun is setting. Their marches ended and the coast is now clear.
Yeah. This guy wants Sky News to say something. Oh, what's happening? You need to condemn this reporter of yours because she will get in trouble in South Africa. People are noticing her biased reporting. There's no war in Ethiopia. Why only middle-aged men are running away from war, leaving their women and kids if there's any war going on? Again, like to the point that I said earlier, we're looking at 7, 8 countries that they skipped before they got to South Africa. Right? I'm just being fair. I'm just trying to be fair. Like, I'm not trying to say that what is happening there is right? The kicking out of African economic migrants. But to say that you're there because of war, that sounds a bit off. There's no war in Ethiopia. What kind of nonsense is journalism is this? Is a fake asylum seeker only here for economic gain? And apparently there's a huge syndicate behind these shops and make the real money. South Africans, for the love of God, stop buying from these people. You know what? This is... How can I put this? This is a better response than let's kill the fucking foreigners, in my opinion. Just don't buy from their shops. If you feel that that's going to get the message across, I think it's going to cause less bloodshed. So you know what? If that's what you want to do that, buddy. If that's what you want to do that. How do you even comprehend such nonsense? Our government needs to be removed. He will be an asylum seeker somewhere else. He is now declaring war against South Africans. South Africa need to invest more in education because stupidity and foolishness is too much. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think we can all read a map. He's lying. He was trafficked South African, is working for the cartel. That spaza shop is not technically his. That's why these people never buy cars, houses, and have families, etc. Namia would be this arrogant knowing I'm protected by 600 rand. Huh? How kumnandi nje ilula land. There's no war in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is part of BRICS. They can take care of their people. Absolute disrespect. We don't want scum. Scum. And so that, wow. Alright. Let's move on to the next post. Let's move on to the next post because, wow. That was something. That was really something. Case in point, environmental and health attorney Siyabulela Pendani says the owner of spaza shops that sold contaminated snacks to more than 20 children who died in 2024 should have been charged with culpable homicide or murder. I agree completely. Like, this is the type of stuff that does radicalize the population. This is what pisses people off. This is what gets people doing what they're doing in the street right now.
In the first place, they were not supposed to have had them because such products are controlled by the Fertilizers, Agricultural Commodities and Livestock Commodities Act 36 of 1947. It's a controlled substance that is supposed to be registered first before you can have it in your possession. So they were never supposed to have it in their possession in the first place. And these are means that they are using to control pests, which they view as cheaper means, but very dangerous to human health. And as a result of that, I still believe that they should not have only be charged if there was any link between the death of the children, the organophosphate that is found in the premises, and that they ate the food directly in those premises. To me, those people should not have only be charged only with that, with being in possession, but also culpable homicide or murder, because someone died as a result of a negligent.
I agree with him. I agree, and this is what's supposed to happen in a proper society, right? Instead of having mob justice, right, a bunch of dudes just rocking up to your shop to break the shop, kill you, and take whatever is in the shop, what should happen is the police should investigate, the courts should charge, and then you should get sentenced. That is what should happen.
Action of someone who stored a product that was not supposed to have been there in the first place, whom is not even permitted by legislation to have that product in the first place. Because if they were to deal with issue of pest control is a separate issue, whom a registered professional, they must be able to hire that professional too.
Yeah, if people died, someone needs to get charged with murder, manslaughter, something connected to those deaths. It cannot be, oh, people died, 20 children, and then it's just like, yeah, whatever. What the fuck?
Be able to provide those services for them.
Yeah. 100% agree with this guy.
In the first place, they were not supposed to have had.
100%. Let's see the comment section. Toxicology results from the National Health Laboratory confirmed that the 6 children, okay, just 6, not 20. Still, if even one died, someone needs to get charged for that. The 6 children who died in Naledi, Soweto, died from ingesting turbofos, an extreme organophosphate pesticide. However, NHLS testing of snacks and swabs collected from local spaza shops came back negative for the chemical, leaving the exact source of exposure under ongoing. Okay. So, essentially, there was no evidence. There was no evidence proving that that's what actually happened. This guy is he's coming up with something. He's stabbing in the dark, but there's no evidence. Because the life of black South African is cheap, nothing, fuck off, that's not what happened. The SABC News literally cut out the Minister of Health's presentation in one of their videos to drive the narrative that killer food came from spaza shops. We could have a pandemic and it continues killing undetected because of propaganda. That's terrible. And the people here in the comments say, like, no one is even checking. No one is checking the facts. People are just going with it. Christ. Why have they been quiet all this time? 2 years later, no one has been arrested. There's no evidence. Charge him with what evidence when they looted his shop and ate all the poisoned groceries? They stole the quote-unquote poisonous... Listen, he's right. He's fucking right. And obviously his name is Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Obviously he's got a nice anime name. All right, let's move on to the next one. But I just thought that was interesting. The issue of like proof. Like no one's really paying attention to that, unfortunately. All right, it says it cannot be normal, quote, it cannot be normal for people to march every day over the same issue. That shows there's a problem that needs urgent attention. The police, together with other relevant stakeholders such as Home Affairs like immigration, must meet and find a lasting solution to resolve the matter once and for all, said Colonel Robert Nechiunda, the KZN South African Police Services spokesperson.
We can't be having people marching every day. That means police, Home Affairs, the metro, everybody else who's involved must come together, devise a plan, a strategy to ensure that we arrest the situation. We can't let it be as it is. No, we have seen the challenge. We have seen the concerns which are genuine. Then we must act on them.
He's not saying anything. This guy has a future as a politician. He has a future. He's right. South Africa needs to invest more in education because stupidity and foolishness is too much. You can't do much and much every week. It's stupidity. You have no knowledge about the economy. Lord. Right? And you can see from the flags, this guy's Somalian. So, damn. Please tell me, is he in South Africa? Hold on, let's see. We don't know if he's in South Africa or not. All right. Correct, the law enforcement agencies are playing an accomplice to this unconstitutional, illegal foreigners' behavior allowed or dictated. Jesus, commas, full stops. Guys, try something, my guy. Jesus. They must organize 30 July. I want to see if they have another 6. Listen. We're way past 30 July. Marching happened in 2008. They happen after a couple of years, and the government need acts, so the people are doing it their way because everyone failed to solve the problem. Out South Africans have cried and cried about this. That is true. It happens every few years in South Africa, which means the strategy is working. Patriots must continue marching until we win. As it stands, we will witness the looters and other lawlessness, blood on the floor, shoot by the police. Marikana is long forgotten. The people will be marching and speaking from the streets for as long as government is not listening. That is also true. Foreigners must have their own identity card produced by the South African government. They must pay an application fee for it. The card must have their residential address. If found in a different province or city, they must produce an affidavit declaring their travel plans. Trace. Yo. I will say, you know what? You learned well from apartheid. Essentially, they want to create apartheid for black foreigners. SA Police Service can't say you're tired when we're just getting started and you need to run because you are unfit. Oh my goodness. Can KZN be just its own country because a lot would have been done by now? Jeez. This news organization journalist knows how to ask questions. He's always spot on. All right. So that's enough of that. Right? That's enough of that. Let's remove this bookmark here. And let's move on to the next one. Next one. Allegedly, 2 South African men were attacked by undocumented migrants while seeking employment at a company accused of hiring undocumented migrants.
Yes. Abanye babethu basele lapha manje. Yebo. Asazi noma baphuma.
Manje bona the way esifika ngakhona lapha nasebezitshela ukuthi maybe sishaya abantu.
Yes.
Asikaze sile namuntu. Bese sidlulela nje lapha nje. Ngeke. Hayi kodwa hayi ku right. Ku right. Vele bebengibulala vele. Mhlawumbe abanye batshela ukuthi ngifile le ngikhona. Ku right.
Yeah, he got fucked up. Somebody beat his ass. And there's like even blood on t-shirts.
Webizwe lo babamkhuleli kufanele simfele vele. Ukhona umuntu ophume nje. Akekho ku right.
When he's saying cool right, it's not, I wouldn't say sarcastic, but he's like, you know what? It's fine. We're gonna get our leg back, you know what I mean?
Ngoba mina ngisindile ku right. Ejepa akekho sele lapha. Basele ngabasele lapha. Baningi basele besihamba nabo. Namanje amakhosi ukuthi esikhaphe lapha nokuthi sihambe siyobathi besistrike.
Yeah. He beat that ass. That's bad. That's tough. It's really tough. They say, why must it be difficult for us to enjoy opportunities to this country without having to fight for them? I blame EFF and its open border policy. The community must mobilize and visit that company. The owner must also be arrested as per the law. When we say they must leave, they call us names. Since when are we this nice as South Africans? Yazi, Abasazi, Katle Laba. SA Police Service must arrest the perpetrators before we take laws into our own hands. Where is this? We will be there tomorrow. Guys, foreigners are violent. They killed white people in their home countries. They hate South Africans. They want to benefit from our country while we suffer poverty. And then he shares this picture. Guys, why is Mozambique here? What are we doing? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Leave Mozambique out, please, guys. Leave us alone. These Greek gambas must now be sent to their grandfathers. Baya de Lela Manje. No, they thought those foreigners were undocumented and started acting up. Now people got fed up and showed these boys pepper. So according to Poppy Ramatuba, does she want to create divisions and segregation among South Africans based on which province they come from? Who is she to dictate where South Africans can and cannot go in their own country? Let's see what's happening here.
Simple as saying.
This is the Limpopo, the representative for a province. Let's hear it.
Everyone who is not documented cannot be allowed to be in South Africa. All undocumented immigrants. Definitely we're supporting fully that everyone who is in the country, be it in Limpopo.
God, it's not country, it's country. Come on, guys. Lock in.
Or any other country.
Country.
Follow the laws of that country.
Oh, God. I'm getting triggered.
Or to be documented. However, we have noted that during this march, in some instances, there are people who are targeted based on their skin complexion, based on their language. And majority of those people, unfortunately, reside from our province, Limpopo. Because if you are Venda speaking, Tsonga speaking, or even Pedi speaking, and you are dark in terms of your skin complexion,
we still wonder how How were we so numerous when the colonizers came? How were they so few and they still took over the entire continent? We still wonder how that happened.
And they ask you to speak in certain languages and you can't pronounce the words in those languages. I've received so many reports that those individuals are being targeted. And we are simply saying, we're not going to tolerate that in Limpopo. And we're also saying, you can't be moving from one household to another, removing people based on their skin complexion or on the language that they speak. Because we are amongst those people, when it was not fashionable, we've always raised these issues of undocumented immigrants, be it in our hospital facilities, be it in the certain sectors in terms of the employment sectors. We've raised those issues. And the government did respond it, the national government. The president is a...
See, this is what proper leadership sounds like. The government needs to do something. The police needs to do something. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you reach the point that 15, 20 guys are now the law, if I have an interest, there's tons of people on the other side of my neighborhood. Like, I live in a neighborhood where, well, not in the neighborhood, but right next to my neighborhood is like a really shitty place, right? A very, very shitty place. I could, if I wanted, just, get a couple coins together, pay a couple guys, and randomly rock up to any house that I feel like I need to rock up to and be like, no, we're here to see if this person is documented or undocumented. And then we just do whatever the fuck we want in that house because these are undocumented illegals.
Appointed the IMC. We are seeing work being done. They've accepted that the border is strengthening our border management authority. BMA has been appointed. Police, we are working with them as provincial government. We are raiding where raids needs to be done. Drug warlords.
And it has to be the police. It has to be the police.
Are being arrested. And we welcome all those who made it possible for us to be where we are today. But we can't allow a situation where, because I am Limpopo born citizen and I'm dark in my skin complexion, I cannot be allowed to visit any province. That we cannot allow. We simple as saying,
and people still wonder how we got colonized. Simple. This continent, the people of this continent, this is not going to stop. This will continue forever. Because you see these are South Africans. They were beaten by other Africans. They are now going to tomorrow go and beat other Africans that aren't South African. And then the cycle will continue. you look at what happens in Asia. You know what they're not doing in Asia? They're not when North Koreans, right? When North Koreans escape south to South Korea and rock up with no papers, no nothing. Do you know what doesn't happen? Violence towards them. Psychological, physical, emotional. That does not happen. That's not what happens. Right? When Koreans move to Japan, this doesn't happen. When a Japanese person moves to China, this doesn't happen. It only happens here. When a Norwegian moves to Sweden, when a Mexican moves to Honduras, when a Argentinian moves to Brazil, it's only here. It's only here that this happens. So yes, I stand by what I'm saying right now. We deserve it. We have no self-love. We have no self-respect. All we have in our hearts is greed and hate towards one another, mostly. So yeah, let it rip, because like I was saying earlier on, we all get our just desserts for whatever it is that we do or don't do. Let's move on. Residents in Greater Benoni have taken to the streets in Boksburg North, going door to door to businesses and industrial areas. They're accusing owners of hiring undocumented foreign nationals instead of South Africans. SABC News reporter Nomvuyo Ntanjana reports.
We are here to visit some of the companies which they got a lot of foreigners and they are refusing to
Notice, the issue is not they've got a lot of illegal foreigners. The issue is they've got foreigners.
To terminate their contracts, and as well as
terminate their contracts. People with contracts have paperwork, and if they have paperwork, that means they're legal. But that's not the goal. The goal here is not to get rid of illegals. The goal here is to get rid of other black Africans.
An issue of foreign nations like Nigerians who are working with police in terms of drugs, human trafficking.
And again, when it comes to the whole thing with Nigeria, we've done this. Hold on. Let's open the map. Let's do it again. Where is Nigeria? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nigeria. All the way up her. Like Nigeria is closer. The distance between Nigeria and South Africa, I would say Nigeria is closer to Spain than it is to South Africa. That's how far Nigeria is. And let's do the exercise again. Cameroon is right next to Nigeria. From the little that I know of Cameroon, there is no war in Cameroon. There's no war in Niger. There's no war in Benin or Togo or Ghana. I'm not sure about Cote d'Ivoire. There's no war in Burkina Faso. But let's skip all of that. Let's say they were forced to go south. I know there's no war in Gabon. Congo, everyone knows, is a shithole. It is what it is. Angola, kind of a shithole. They've had some insurgencies. So let's skip that. You have Namibia here. You have Botswana. You have Zambia. You have Zimbabwe. You have at least 4 or 5 options here before you get to South Africa if you're from Nigeria. So is it really, it's not a war thing. It's not a war thing. Say what you want, it is not a war thing. Let's get back to the video.
We have visited some of those places last week as in a form of investigation. So that's why we...
Who the fuck are you to investigate? And this is something people don't understand, guys. Once you open the door to mob justice, it is very gratifying. It is very satisfying to do this now that you agree with what the mob is doing. The problem with this type of stuff is that tomorrow it won't be for something that you agree with. Tomorrow it'll be to get into your house, to get into your business. But by then it'll be too late. And there won't be an investigation. You know why? Because a random motherfucker off the street, the same way you, a random motherfucker off the street, are conducting a investigation today, tomorrow it's going to be someone else conducting an investigation. And then they're just going to get your ass. Because guess what happens with mob justice? On the spot, it's judge, jury, and execution. You don't get a lawyer. If the guy leading this current charge, if he's really interested in your car, and you need to die so he can justify leaving with the car, guess what's going to happen? It's like animalistic behavior.
We are here today to make sure that we are sending a message in Boksburg North because of the police in Boksburg North. They do as they wish.
All right, earlier we saw a confrontation between you guys and the restaurant owner. What was that call about? In fact, what was that confrontation about?
Okay, in Meat Mania, it's a sort of a butcher. Yeah, they employed. Actually, the employment, it was almost 90% of foreigners. So we just investigated as well that place, and we
investigate. Investigating. I'm triggered. I'm triggered.
We spoke to the manager last week, and we confirmed to the manager that he needs to make sure that he replaces those foreigners. Today we passed there just to make sure if ever he did the way he promised, actually. So we're still gonna go back on Monday, but we're not gonna go back in a massive like this. But we're gonna go back as leaders just to confirm that.
Leaders of what? Leaders of what? Who elected you? Who chose you?
He did replace those foreigners with our South Africans.
All right, one would argue that you are intimidating those shop owners. What would your response be to that allegation?
You're saying intimidating?
If one were to say you are intimidating those shop owners, what would your response be?
Unfortunately, we never intimidate them.
He smiles, then he says, unfortunately, we don't.
Those shop owners, what would your response be?
Unfortunately, we never intimidate them.
Unfortunately.
Firstly, that's why we approach them without any this massive of men, as you see, and women. We went there as leaders last week. There were a few. We spoke to them nicely, and we request them to assist us in terms of claiming our job for our South Africans.
Honestly, I hope they get what they want.
We are here.
I think everyone deserves to get what they want. How is the shop owner being intimidated when he's confronted for doing a wrong thing? If you hire a foreigner, yeah, but who enforces the law? Is it a random South African or is it the police? That's the question. Cursed is anyone who withstands justice due to the foreigner, the fatherless, or the widow. I'll be bringing the Bible here. This is not the place. Is SA a banana republic, or is it a state leasing citizens on on foreigner state-sponsored xenophobia? Why is residents from Benoni come to protest in Boksburg as if Hakuna Bantu in Boksburg? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Journalist is paid to hold a microphone. Once held by the interviewee, you have handed over your job. You will be fired. Lawlessness, we will see how far it will go because more companies are foreign invested. Once they pull the plug, SA will fall easily. No, it won't. SA is still a good place to invest in right now. It still hasn't gone to shit. The companies in South Africa are still not run by black South Africans, so you can still invest freely. It'll be fine. I want a job, but I also want to march on Thursday for more job availability. SABC need reporter, was cruising, okay. Wanted for murder. Where do these people get permit to march every day? Go back your land, Zulu fools. This is now abnormal. All right. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so this one says angry Ethiopians. Excuse me. Angry Ethiopians and Somalians say that the town of Danata in Gauteng is too small for them and the South Africans. They are kicking out South Africans from Danata. They say South Africans must find another town to stay in. Listen, this is the type of foolishness, right? This is the type of foolishness that will have me supporting the South Africans. You cannot be going and taking over entire towns talking about there's no space for you here. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that as a South African, and I don't think you can be doing that especially as a foreigner.
Now, they were looking at us, laughing at us, while Ama stones were thrown at us. Labantu laba bebamile basibhekile basibukele mabaqeda bathi thina ithi siphose amatshe kuqala kanti kuphose ama-Ethiopians nama-Somalians kuqala. And another thing, the CPF nayo ikhona CPF yasedanotha, the Jabes yiyo protector labantu, yibo abatshela labantu basikhaphe ngamatshe yibo bonke. Now amaphoyisa wasedanotha now they were looking.
All right. This place needs your attention, Jacinta. Instead of leaving these people beating up women, I trust the people of Duduza. They took them out. Elokshin, they will do it too. We are doomed. Those ones, they will wipe us out with their machine guns they brought with them. You can tell that some of them are warlords back from their country. I lament the future of our children. Lord have mercy on us. Your children, no, do not be talking about our men over here. The police better do their jobs with these people, because when to handle the business ourselves, they will need 600 million again. South African police have always been an enemy of Bantu natives. Police have attacked South Africa natives during apartheid. The culture of SAP attacking black native continues. Police have defended a settler European racists killing black masses. It's why they defend the foreigners. Nice, you can't attack people with sticks and expect them to bow for you. I would shoot you if I had a gun, because Nami Asoze, right under the nose of Premier, who promised to enforce the Immigration Act. Whew, this is what happens when these communities allow illegals to run businesses. They start with 1 or 2 shops, and then they own every business and sabotage the South African. These Muslims don't buy anything from other religions. They say it's haram, but dumbass citizens support them. You know it's stupid to label every foreigner illegal, like you know their status. I just like that Huh? I just like that your loudmouths whores are barking from a distance. They've met their match. It's game on. Why does the community have meetings to stop buying from these people? If you broke the laws of the meeting, them nivakashele. I don't know what that means. Where is everyone from those who call themselves government and Ndlozi, including the president? These nonsense must come to end come November 2026. They're quite as if nothing. Quiet. Okay. I'm guessing English is not this person's first language. Quiet as if nothing is happening, but when South Africa rise, they are everywhere making interviews, and we say is enough. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Because that was a lot. That was definitely a lot. Let's watch the video. This guy looks like he's Ethiopian. Like, I don't want to be the guy to say it, but I'll say it. Ethiopians and Somalians, they have a specific facial structure. It doesn't matter where they're at. Europe, US, Africa. Like, you can tell an Ethiopian when you see him. You can tell a Somalian when you see him. This guy looks like an Ethiopian. He looks like he's defending his shop here. He's got his stick too. That's another one as well. All right. Please. Wow. More Africans attacking other Africans. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm telling you, man, we this continent, everyone in this shithole, everyone deserves everything. We deserve everything that we go through here. Let's move on to the next one. Low IQ South Africans think Zimbabweans are cowards. The white man did nothing to them compared to what we see here. Nothing. What's happening? Where people were seated, the popos rocked up. Alright, whooping that ass. Okay, alright. Whooping that ass. The obsession with South Africa. This idiot is insulting us. Your mother is insulting these nuts. Really? See the real fight back, not cowardice shown by Zimbos. Oh, what's happening? History Uncut Crossroads, 1986, Apartheid, South Africa.
Where is it?
Alright, we're just watching people run around. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Gates of Parliament. Alright.
Bring a bullet and shoot us now. If you can take me to Cosmo, that is a more than that place, the Roland place at that time. I'll die.
We've got a very big problem in the township. We've got Mr. Ngomongwana, and we believe that Mr. Ngomongwana has got supporters. Mr. Ngomongwana's people, they are burning down the shanties, and they say they will be coming down to the township to burn houses. They don't want anybody who belongs to any political organization because they want to be the leaders. The problem is whenever the other group is attacking Mr. Ngomongwana's side, then they've got the police to help them. The police will shoot tear gas and, rubber bullets to people. But if the other side is running down, but if Mr. Ngomongwana's side is going to attack the other people, and then they are free to do so.
Are you people from Nyanga Bush or from Nyanga itself?
Yeah, we are from different places, but from Nyanga Bush, all over.
What do you hope will happen here? Who do you hope to speak to here today?
Anyone who can give us help. Because the only problem we feel that...
Alright, that's crazy. Expecting the white man during apartheid to give us help. Lol. No military vehicles, no dogs, no guns, no grenades. Yet y'all are running away like cowards. We would have dealt with these fuckers in 10 minutes. What is a machete? Zimbabweans wouldn't have survived apartheid, clearly. Those white people had guns, dogs, and tear gas. Well, you Zim cowards are running away from people who are holding sticks. Don't just disrespect us. God damn. Are you aware that you guys are oppressed by your own people and doing nothing about it in 2026? That is true. Zimbabweans are oppressed by their own people. Bodies of South Africans who died fighting for South Africa against apartheid. Stop being cowards. Go fight Mnangagwa, you cowards. I saw a report. Mnangagwa did actually extend his term as president of Zimbabwe recently. That happened just now. Like very recently. Alright, let's move on to the next post. Home Affairs Albert Matsaung says no child can be a citizen of a country if neither of its parents are citizens of that country. He was speaking in Musina where thousands of migrants awaiting repatriation. No child can be a citizen of a country if neither of your parents are I don't know. This sounds like cap. I feel like asking ChatGPT if this is true. It sounds like bullshit. No child can be a citizen of, let's triangulate it to South Africa, if neither of its parents are citizens of South Africa. True or false? Oh shit, I'm not sharing the screen. Hold on. It says here false. Under South African law, a child can become a South African citizen even if neither parent. Ooh. That's let's quickly go back to that post and add our little 2 cents. Common Sense 101. South Africa doesn't have birthright citizenship. My God, people are such idiots. Clearly there's an education problem in South Africa. Clearly. Olivia, okay, what offers citizenship? Land or blood? Rule of land. So most of the Americas. Oh, Mozambique is one of them. Interesting. If born in the blue nations, you are automatically offered citizenship irrespective of your parents' nationality. Rule of blood, so that's like most of the world. If born in the red nations, your citizenship depends on the citizenship of your parents. All right. Foreigners should not have entitlement to South Africa. Like, okay, let's see.
For foreigners. You can't have a situation where South Africa with a 42% unemployment, you now have a government that says maybe 10%, 5% must be for foreigners. So you're actually saying, if I'm sitting in Nigeria, I'm sitting in Kenya, I'm sitting wherever, I now have an entitlement in South Africa. We're saying as MK Party no to that. You can't have that, have your entitlement in your own country. People that must come to South Africa for the skills that we don't have. And we do not have a shortage of drivers in South Africa. We do not have a shortage of people to work in the supermarkets. We do not have the people whether it's checkers or pick and pay. We do not have a shortage of people that can work in the hospitality industry and all of that. So we are saying the reason you're having this revolution that is taking place now is because the country has lost confidence in the state to manage its own laws. You can't.
Yeah, the country has definitely lost confidence. We can definitely agree on that. There is no doubt. When people start doing what they're currently doing, there's no faith. On that point specifically, that is what's actually happening. He is spot on, no doubt. Let's see more comments. Citizenship is, in the case of South Africa's immigration situation, should be granted only if your father is a South African, because we all know what the trends are to acquire citizenship by non-South Africans. Oh my goodness. Who has questioned that? At the hospital, they'll tell you that, Vele, why is this a topic? The unabridged birth certificate the child gets is restrictive. This topic sounds like a deflection from something. Oh shit, we still haven't watched the video. Hold on. Let's watch the video.
Be a citizen. There is no child who can be a citizen of a country if none of his parents are a citizen.
Country, guys. Not country. Country. Lock in.
Citizen of that country.
Okay.
So in this case, if both the two parents are non-South African citizens, even if you were born in South Africa, you do not become a South African citizen. You only become a South African citizen if either your mother or either your father is a South African citizen. But when you are born here, if you are a child born from two non-South African citizens, you still remain a non-South African citizen, and then you'll follow the...
Yeah, okay, so they muted him. They muted him on the part that ChatGPT was explaining earlier on. You follow the procedures to gain citizenship. That's one thing that no one wants, right? That's why they cut him out when he was correcting that part. A number of foreign-owned shops were looted in Claremont, Pinetown, west of Durban, following the June 30 demonstrations. This is the end game: looting, and more looting.
Came into the shop. So if you're on social media last night, you'll know that there was a large-scale looting across many townships in Durban. We are currently in Clement, and behind me is a Somalian-owned shop. It's called Super 7, and this shop was absolutely ransacked. It was looted last night. The looters, they broke the lock and they came into the shop and took absolutely everything. Now, what we
God
understand
damn.
is that this is just one of many shops
Oof.
here in Clement, Pinetown, west of Durban, that was looted. And as you can see behind me, the shop was absolutely ransacked.
God
They
damn.
took everything from the shops, and yeah, it's even if you can see behind me, there's an ATM machine. They tried to break into the ATM.
Fuck.
Security guards are here, and they've told us that they couldn't access the money that was inside the ATM machine. But this was always the fear with the June 30 demonstrations, that there were going to be some people who are going to use them for their own nefarious and criminal aims. And this is what has happened here in Clement. This is the first shop that we are visiting. We understand that there's more shops that were also like this, especially foreign-owned shops that were looted and absolutely ransacked. And as you can see here, that the situation is absolutely dire. So this is the second store that we're visiting in
Wow.
Clement. This is the Save More supermarket, also in Bagdadega. And a similar situation also happened here, where the entire store was
Patriots. True patriots.
absolutely ransacked. And this is a much bigger store. It was a supermarket. It sold everything from clothes, food items, to other stationery and other accessories. And as you can see, that the store was absolutely ransacked. The manager that we've spoken to said that the store employs about 19 people, local people. Now all of those people are unemployed, and these people who own the stores say that they've been in the community for about 11 years, so they've obviously taken back by what has happened.
11 years. Listen. I can't think of any country that if you follow the proper procedures, in 11 years, you're not a citizen. Even the United States. 11 years? Come on.
And I think one of the interesting things for me is that
His microphone is low.
that we showed you, the ATM, the looters, the people who were looting, they failed to break the ATM, whereas in here, the ATM was broken into and was absolutely dismantled.
Damn.
And I mean, based on the limited knowledge that anyone has on ATMs, is that ATMs are very much complex, and you basically have to be a professional to break into an ATM.
They essentially got a professional to break in. God damn.
And I think that's one of the interesting things from here, is that that's what's left of the ATM. It's a ATM. And as you can see again, the store absolutely ransacked. Yeah, so I just want to mention again is that this was always the fear, that the people were going to take the June 30 demonstrations and use them for their own criminal elements. And this is exactly what has happened here. The police were here, the army is outside, but that's after the fact.
Yeah, it's done already. Like, what's the use of this truck? It's useless.
Outside, but that's after.
What are you going to do with that? That's like decoration. And also, this dude needs to run. Like, this dude needs to, like, they need to put him on rations. Seriously, this is unacceptable. We can't have a dude looking like this in the army. What are we doing?
After the fact, we've spoken to the people at the CPF who said that the private security guards and the local law enforcement authorities were absolutely overpowered by the looters.
There's too many people. There's just too many people.
So this is the Save More supermarket in Clement, absolutely looted and gutted.
Reply to Sifiso's comment. If you say one of many shops, please show us the other shops. The Daily Maverick reported a successful and peaceful march with no deaths, injuries, and looting. So that's why he's showing. Ooh, okay. That's why he's showing the video. Damn, bro. Damn. 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 Let's check the comment section.
So if you're on social media,
is it a joke to you that South Africa is the crime capital of the world? Very, very lazy, bittered, and jealous people looking for who to steal from. The only thing safe are the bookshops. 1,000,000%. Open a bookstore in South Africa, you will make money, and when the shit goes to shit, no one's gonna touch your store. Do it. Fucking do it. And also, you will also be providing a valuable service, because if there's one thing that's lacking on the entire continent, not just South Africa, more bookstores. More bookstores. It happens every 4 years. We're not surprised. It's their culture. They won't have anything to loot tomorrow, and they will finish whatever they have looted in no time. They did it with the blessing of South African government. Africa needs to boycott South Africa. The worst thing that happens to a country is when the government gives citizens free money to do nothing but drink and rob people. Don't let anybody lie to you. This is all the march is about. These are the reasons why the white South Africans will push for the division of South Africa, because the black South Africans are lazy, unproductive, and disgraceful to Africa as a whole. So foreigners are the criminals. Wow. The government of Cyril Ramaphosa is incompetent and incoherent. Can the government guarantee orderliness and rule of law in South Africa? Failed leadership. These are jobs we're looking for. I never knew the idea was to loot rather than work. It's a tight schedule. I like the end of it. It's a tight schedule. They looted everything but the books, but the bookshops. Black South Africans will be so hit with repercussions of all these that they will be throwing foods to them on the streets, and it shall surely come to pass. This is why it's better to use bank loans to do business in countries like South Africa, so their bank will bear the cost, or just pay insurance. Right? Like if I lived in South Africa, my best friend, my highest investment would be insurance for my home, for my vehicles, for my business. Because if there's one place that people be getting robbed every single, like all the time, it's South Africa. I thought they wanted to take over and run these foreign-owned shops. That's the reason for the match, just to loot and steal. March, not match, my guy. Very, very lazy set of beings. The rand has jumped from $1 to 11 rand to $1 to 17 rand. Investors will pull back. They'll be back. They'll be back. All right, anyways. Let's move on to the next one. If not this lady, most of us in history wouldn't have known these facts from Nigeria to South Africa. Have you heard something like this before? The internet does not forget. What is the lady saying?
It was point blank Afrophobia, and you know what is the most disgusting about it all? Go and look at the video where this comment is coming from. Go and educate yourselves and find out what Nigeria has done for our country. Go and read up on the history. Nigeria spent $61 billion, billion with a B, to help liberate our people.
Hold on. Did Nigeria spend $61 billion to liberate South Africa? Hold on, let me switch the page. Let's see if this happened. Let's see. The claim is partly accurate, but it is often misunderstood. Okay, let's get into the weeds. Weeds. Nigeria did not write South Africa a single Nigeria did not write South Africa a single check for 61 billion. Instead, the 61 billion figure is an estimate of the total value of Nigeria's support for the anti-apartheid struggle over several decades. This estimate includes direct financial support to the liberation movements, including the African National Congress, the ANC, and the Pan-Africanist Congress, PAC. The South African Relief Fund, often called the Mandela Tax, to which millions of Nigerians voluntarily contributed through salary deductions and donations. What? This is news to me. I didn't know this. Millions of Nigerians voluntarily contributed through salary deductions and donations. Scholarships for thousands of South African students, diplomatic leadership, including pushing for international sanctions against the apartheid regime, economic costs, particularly Nigeria's decision to enforce an oil embargo and other measures against apartheid South Africa, which are estimated to have cost Nigeria tens of billions in lost revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, if I was Nigerian, if I was Nigerian and I was aware of this context, I'd be mad. I'd be really mad. This is madness. I thought she was adding some salt, honestly, when she said 61 billion. But Jesus. That is mad. That is absolutely insane. Look at her eyes when she looks to. Yo! Look at her face. She's hot right now. She is bothered. Hold on, let me share. She is mad right now. Like, she is really upset.
$1 billion, people. Dollars. We're not talking rands here. We're talking dollars. They also issued us passports when we needed it. You know what? I will just show you. You can go to the archives yourselves. You can do the history yourselves. From 1960
I checked. It's mad. It's fucking crazy.
To 1995, Nigeria spent over $61 billion to support the end of apartheid. And this is according to the South African Institute of International Affairs. This is coming from our archives. This is the same Nigeria that set up the Southern Africa Relief Fund. The same Nigeria whose civil servants and public officers made a 2% donation from their monthly salary. And the same Nigerian students that skipped their lunch to make donations. And by June of 1977, in just 6 months, look at that, they were able to contribute 10.5 million.
Listen, I'm a privileged person. I've been able to travel to a couple of other African countries. I will say that I never felt any hostility towards me as a Mozambican anywhere else but South Africa. It's like South Africa is the one place that I've been to on this continent where it was like, oh, you're from another country. You're not from this country. And it wasn't immediately like a big attempt to embrace me. South Africa is the only place where I didn't feel that. Like everywhere else I've been, Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe. Wow.
Dollars. They called it the Mandela tax. And you want to know something? If you read the history, they were so proud to be contributing towards it. That's why kids in schools were skipping their lunch to be able to contribute to this fund. This is the same Nigeria that allowed our South African students, our South African people to come over and study for free.
Yeah, like we saw previously, they offered scholarships. Madness. This is wow.
For free. They welcomed our exiles as well. Thabo Mbeki was able to benefit from Nigeria. This is the same Nigeria that their government issued more than 300 passports for our South African citizens. The same Nigeria that lobbied for the creation of the United Nations Special Committee Against Apartheid. If you don't believe me, go through the archives. Go and do your fact check. Because the history is there, the research is there, it's even coming from our own people. It's all there. I stitched this in my last video. Oh, and this thing of Nigeria.
Mexican national in 2 billion rand drug bust appears in court. Okay.
They're bringing in the drugs to our country. Please show me. We recently had a massive drug bust.
Listen. Evil is evil. It doesn't matter who's perpetrating it. If a Nigerian is perpetrating is perpetrating a crime, right? You know what? Arrest them and punish them to the full extent of the law. It doesn't matter if they're Nigerian, Zimbabwean, Namibia. It doesn't matter, right? I do disagree with her on this one because it seems like she's trying to point out that like it's only Mexicans doing this.
A 2 billion rand drug bust. And show me the Nigerian. Let's play Spot the Nigerian. Please show
Let's play Spot the Nigerian.
me where there is a Nigerian in sight. Because y'all are very quick to talk about how, they're bringing in the drugs to a country. Where? Because this thing of drug smuggling, this thing of child trafficking, it is...
Soy el fuego que arde tu piel. We all saw Narcos. Great show. Soy el agua que mata tu sed. Oh shit. Anyways. Listen, people export their cultures, alright? There's one thing about South America no one can deny. They're the kings of drugs.
It is not something specific to Nigerians. Not even close. Because in this picture, it's 2 South Africans, one of which is a descendant of... We won't go there.
He's a Boer. She says, we won't go there. Not today. Not today, we won't.
and 2 Mexicans, and there was a 5th suspect that recently came out. There is not a Nigerian in sight. We have just played Spot the Nigerian. Do you see a Nigerian in this? No. Unspeakable. The hate.
No one hates Africans more than Africans.
Hate for the descendants of our liberators. But y'all are comfortable with the descendants.
But I want to defend the black South Africans for 2 minutes. The facts she just spewed, do you think they ever were taught this? Do you think, like, we always talk about education, right? The dearth of education in South Africa. We always talk about that. Like, we have to pick a lane here. Either we're dealing with ignorant people that don't know anything, or we're dealing with people that know the context, right? So, in a way, it kind of makes sense that the black South Africans are treating the rest of, like the other Africans the way they are, because most of them don't even know what fucking happened, right? They think that Nelson Mandela, right, stayed in prison for 10 years, and then, or 10, 20, whatever, he stayed in prison for a couple of years, and they think that him staying in prison is what liberated them. and them running around and toying inside South Africa. They think that's what liberated them, because those were the stories that were told to them. But they didn't read the books. They didn't check to see what happened outside. They didn't check to see the pressures outside that caused everything else to fall apart for apartheid.
Of colonizers, which we should be, right? We've gotten to a place where it's like, okay, this is the reality. We're gonna make it work now. Because we as people of color are the bigger person, and we will choose peace. Or at least I was under that impression in the beginning. But then I've also come to realize that no, it actually had nothing to do with that. It had to do with force. This is what the government chose for us, and therefore we will follow through. And maybe that's what is necessary. Because some of y'all can't think for yourselves. You just need to be led by a shepherd, or led because you are sheep in your hatred.
She's right. She is right.
You have gone and destroyed this woman's life and her family.
What woman?
And you are so happy about it. You are so proud of yourselves for it, and it shows.
What woman?
Y'all are disgusting. You know what? You are so welcome to cancel me over this. I don't want to be followed by sheep. By cancel culturalists. Whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves.
Cancel culturalists. There's a tongue twister.
Please cancel me. Go for it. I don't give a fuck. And
Some American came out there. I don't give a fuck.
Call yourselves. Please cancel me. Go for it. I don't give a fuck. And I've just highlighted how a Nigerian government issued passports to our people. Chidima's mother didn't have to go to these lengths if she was just issued a passport and assisted. Because clearly she needed assistance if she had left her country. You know, personally, the way this feels for me, Nigeria should come and claim their $61 billion back.
God damn.
You ungrateful South Africans, let Nigeria come, take their $61 billion back and go build their country so that their people don't feel they need to leave. Yeah, let's do that.
I don't know. Nigeria is as corrupt as most other countries on the continent. 61 billion wasn't going to do it. 61 billion is not going to do it. Some illiterates won't understand this video and what this lady is saying because they were never taught about it in school. Okay. South Africans being chased away from Mozambique for their... What? What's happening?
Yes.
You guys are helpers at home.
Why are you coming in Mozambique?
Why were you there?
Where? I'm here in the country. And you?
We're here to visit.
To visit?
I said you. We're not here
Where?
to go to...
Where?
We're here to visit.
Damn. I'm disappointed in my fellow Mozambicans. Not the first time, won't be the last time, but I am disappointed. The behavior of South Africans should not dictate our behavior. Like we should not lower ourselves to the level of black South Africans. When they come and visit, let them visit. When South Africa is finally taken away from them again, we should take them back. We shouldn't mistreat them. I don't agree with this behavior.
We have a beautiful country. That's why you like it. Why you coming? So why you chase us then? Why you chase us?
The other was covering your mouth.
You are stupid, guys. You South African people. You are very stupid. Why don't go to your president? Why did you go to Cape Town? Why you come in Mozambique? Very stupid. People, we cross with you people. We're not help with you guys. We're not happy with you guys. We're very close with South Africa people. I tell you guys, you must go tell your president to fuck off.
I'm not a fan of this one. I am not a fan of this. This is bullshit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this behavior. They can go to Orania for their short stay. There's more videos.
Well, get down to your business. Ana kila mesaka bele dos daqui. Ana toda mesaka bele dos daqui. Todos eles Cesar famosos aqui. Só sul-africanos aqui, eles Cesar. Ah, mas fuck off. Not here.
This is bullshit. We shouldn't be doing this. We have to always think when these things happen, we always need to ask ourselves as Africans, cui bono? Who benefits? It's not black South Africans. It's not Mozambicans. So even the staff is complaining about the South Africans.
Fuck off! You must fuck off!
They must fuck off. What I love about this is that South Africans left. They didn't force to stay. That's something you can learn. You know what? I guess that's something. You know what? That's a fair point. What's going on here? Has your xenophobic country collapsed that your people are now migrating to Mozambique? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. South Africa is still okay-ish. I was one of the undergrads that accommodated a South African student on campus and had several South African friends whose parents were in exile in Nigeria. When a country takes history off the curriculum, there's usually a reason. Many of these young South Africans don't know how they got to where they are. They also don't understand that they are being manipulated by corrupt politicians and rich elites to hide in the shadows. African standard, how Nigeria spent 61 billion to free South Africa, others from apartheid. What's this? It is all a big lie. In 1994, Nigeria's gross domestic product stood at roughly 28 billion. How could they spend 60 billion for the... Ladies and gentlemen, guys, proof that there is an education problem. In South Africa. This is proof. So essentially, Nigeria couldn't have spent 61 billion, right, on South Africa because in 1 year, their gross domestic product was just 28 billion. This motherfucker is so dumb. He thinks that Nigeria only existed and assisted South Africa for 1 year. That is how dumb he is. Let's see the comments, because I'm sure they're roasting him. I'm sure they're roasting him. The 61 billion he talks about was spent in blockhead. Your politicians lied to you. We never received that money. They scammed. What an idiot. What an idiot. Smartphone in dumb hands. Oh my. I'm stealing this one. Smartphone in dumb hands. All you do is watch porn with it and get drunk. Tell me how you're going to have a brain to look it up yourself. Uneducated idiot, do your research. Listening is a skill and knowledge is power. She is talking about a period over 20 years. Just my 2 cents. You are not smart, not surprised. I don't expect a xenophobe to have sense. Spent between 1975 to 1994. Do you get that now? And this is from your records. Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, do your own calculations. It still does not make economic sense. With just 1 billion, Nigeria can fix a lot of So now we know that he doesn't understand about budget allocation on top of being an idiot. We also know he doesn't know about budget allocation. This is from your history records. The billions then in today's value is up to 60 billion. History that was cooked in 2022 when there were xenophobic attacks in South Africa to plant guilt. Motherfucker, this guy doesn't even know recent history. The xenophobic attacks were going on in 2008. You know what? I'm actively losing brain cells. That's it. We're done. For today, we're done. I'm gonna try and go live on my gaming channel in about an hour. But yeah, as far as the daily log, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button and all that other good stuff. See you all tomorrow.